And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from NBA, who asked the question, who would win a fight, Michael Myers or the Banana Splits? Now, the Banana Splits did have a movie a little while back, which is the ones we're looking at right now. Let me move myself a little over here. Here we go. I'm underneath the big guy. Very tiny at the moment. But yeah, so the Banana Splits were like a kids film and a kids program, kids cartoon, as well as a live action, people in suits kind of series, which was kind of like a Teletubbies, but a little bit like a game show. Sometimes it was a weird thing. I didn't even really know about the Banana Splits until that horror movie knockoff came along. Which let's address that. That would be the version we're using today, because if I'm using the cartoon, well, Toon Force says that even if it's mild Toon Force, that Mike Myers would lose. But if we're just using the actors in the suits, well, Mike Myers is just going to kill them. The question really would come down to, with the Banana Splits, if we're using those animatronic versions that we get in the horror movie, would Michael Myers be able to take down those animatronics? Because they don't have any life force, blood, organs, or anything like that. They could still be damaged and hurt and destroyed. I mean, they don't feel pain, but you know what I mean. As that does happen in the movie. But is Michael Myers, the Boogey Man, capable of doing that? To understand if he can do that, we would have to look at Michael Myers. Now, if we composite Michael from every single version of the series, all the series, then you basically have I don't know if he's peak human. He's certainly above average in strength. Like, there's no doubt about it. He's super strong, but I don't think he's peak human. Like, I don't see him bench pressing, whatever the record for that is. I don't see him lifting a car, which theoretically a peak human can kind of do. Like, I don't think Michael Myers is peak human. Certainly isn't like that in terms of speed. Again, whether or not he can teleport, it's kind of irrelevant in this fight, because but maybe it's not. I don't know. I've never liked the idea that Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, for that matter, can teleport. I actually don't like that, whether it's true or not. And people constantly keep saying, in the game he can do that for Jason. And this happened? And to which I did explain away the example the person gave me. It's like, no, that can be easily explained. Michael Myers, it's a little. Jason is just somewhat for debate in some regards. Michael's really, really up for debate. Because there actually aren't a lot of instances of him teleporting, or at least, let me rephrase that. There aren't a lot of inexplainable moments that you could claim that he teleported. The only one I can kind of think of is the one in the first, what was it, the first Halloween? Yeah, the first Halloween remake, for the 2018 version, where he walks across a yard and doesn't set off some motion sensors. That's the only one that I can think of, really, where it's kind of hard to explain that away, except for teleportation. But even still, here's the problem I have with the teleportation theories. If they can do that, what is the limitation to that? Because they clearly have some sort of limit, both Jason and Michael. They clearly can't just teleport across town in an instant, because we see them moving and traveling a lot. We actually see them just navigating their environment a lot. I think they just decided to do that a lot of time for the trope. The game made it an ability just because a lot of people theorized he could, but the game isn't canon for Jason. They haven't done a Halloween game, but to be fair, it wouldn't be that much different. So I don't think they teleport, is what I'm trying to get at. I don't personally believe that, because it's very not defined how that teleportation works, why they have that ability, how they got the ability, and what the limitation is. Because clearly they're limited. Otherwise, he would not need to drive a car. Or he would immediately be able to find you no matter what. My guess, and this is just my guess, is that you need to have an awareness of the environment around you. If you have an awareness of the environment around you with this level of teleportation, you can go anywhere you're aware. That's what, in theory, if you're going to use the boat scene in Jason Takes Manhattan, because he knows he's on a boat, knows where the guy's going, he can just appear there.
theoretically. The girl seeing Jason everywhere. Well, Jason is actually very athletic, and the girl is hyped up on drugs, and she's panicking. And so, yeah, I didn't know. That's actually pretty easily explained away. Plus, the boat one, the other one's explainable too. With Michael, yeah, like I said, there's just not as many examples of teleportation, or at least teleportation that you could clearly make an argument for. Not many. Most of them could just be explained away. Beyond that, he does have, if we're compositing him, he does have the Cult of Thorn symbol on him, which hypothetically means he's immortal. Technically. He never experienced a injury significant enough to be considered lethal. Now some say, well, he got caught in an explosion. What was it? Was that Halloween 4 or 5? He got caught in the well, and got caught in an explosion in the well. But anyway, he got caught in the explosion. It was point blank. It's clear he was able to get away from a brunt of that explosion. Like, he did not take the explosion to the face. Because A, and most importantly, both his mask and B, his clothes they're singed. He's smoking, don't get me wrong. But if he had been in the full epicenter of that explosion, those things would have been burnt off. His flesh would have been, even though hypothetically he is immortal, he still takes damage. We know that. It took him like a full year to recover from a coma, despite the fact he didn't need to eat or anything like that. But that's the magic of the Cult of Thorn. The later movies got so stupid. I mean, the movies already started to get stupid once you got into 4 and beyond. Then you go into H2O, which is solid. Resurrections, which Busta Rhymes beating on Michael Myers. And then you got the Rob Zombie ones, which I'm not a fan of. And then you get the newest batch, which just went downhill, just kept going downhill. Started at a peak and then just down the slope. But point is that we've never actually seen Michael really get injured. Yeah, at least if you're talking about the Cult of Thorn Michael anyway. Get injured in a way where you could say, oh yeah, no, he's immortal. He survived that. Because again, he just didn't take the damage that would be considered lethal from the explosion that was in the well. But still, he's very durable, survived multiple gunshots multiple times. Even the old man Michael survived God knows how much. And it's never truly explained how. Because as far as we know, the old man Michael is human. Like, he's just flesh and blood. But the more he kills, he transcends. Lori, I do believe you're talking somewhat out of your ass on that one. Like, you're so obsessed with the boogeyman on that you just think he's more than just a man, which clearly he wasn't. Although the third one did bring up some ideas like evil can just be inherited and things. I keep digressing. So, point being, Michael's always usually got a trusty butcher knife or something. He can use anything for a weapon, really, but his butcher knife is usually his preferred MO of killing. The problem with a fight for Michael is it's multiple opponents. It's 4-on-1. Basically, maybe I can't remember exactly how many banana splits. There's 4 in the picture. I think it's 4 or 5. Let's just say 4 for now. It's 4-on-1. Okay, Michael's fought honestly far greater odds than that and won. So that's not an issue. But the issue here is that he's fighting against non-living individuals. He can't just stab something in the neck and kill it. That's not how this works. If he understands their machines, can he figure out a way to break them down, destroy them? He would have to basically go and start ripping out cords, wires, all that, and they start short-circuiting, and maybe then he starts beating the hell out of one with like another severed limb or something like that. But the problems for Michael, I think, in this fight come down to, A, he's outnumbered, which wouldn't normally be a problem, but these individuals are cybernetic robots that clearly have enough physical strength to compare to Michael anyway. So you have that problem. And then even if he's able to fight off, he could fight them one-on-one, they're going to gang up on him. So you got individuals who are probably comparable in strength, higher in durability because they're machines, don't feel pain, don't have as many significant weak points because of that. And Michael still needs to figure out that they're freaking machines to begin with, because they are wearing, costumes over the machinery, so that he could just think they're people in suits. all this leads to the to realization, or to the decision that, for me, I think Michael would probably be getting Banana split in half with these guys. Literally, what is Banana splits? What is Banana splits? Banana splits. Like, yeah, like, and Michael's not gonna cry for help or like, well, ask to be spared or anything like that. But yeah, he's definitely going to what's the best way? He's definitely gonna have a problem. Again, if he's able to start realizing that they're machines, start going for like chords or stuff like that, sure. But that would mean that then he has to find exposed chords to begin with, chords, wiring, control panels, whatnot, and they're not going to be giving him an easy time with that. Add on the fact that, yeah, they can also use weapons, and unfortunately, this fight actually I don't think looks good for Michael. Even if they don't succeed in killing him, they could probably dismember him at least, and he'd be the headless knight pretty much from Monty Python. That's the thing, is that Michael, as far as we know, Michael can't die, but if you were to just say take a hand off, take an arm off, take his appendages off, like, would that be enough? Like, he's not as durable as he is. He's not infallible, even with the Curse of Thorn coursing through him. Like, you could still take off fingers, you could still take off, joints, all that. In theory, you could dismember him. He could still live, hypothetically. But again, that was never really tested, so I don't have a confirmed answer on that, unfortunately. Regardless, I would actually probably go with the Banana Splits in this fight. They outnumber him. They're just as dangerous, I would imagine. So let me know in the comments below what you think. But thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Later.